Hey, what's up you guys? So this is the second time I filmed this video because last time I filmed it, it was kind of long. So I'm going to make this a lot shorter. And like I said with this video, as you can tell by the title, it's 10 reasons to stop cutting. And I'm sorry if I'm talking fast, but that's what I do. And by the way, I'm not a therapist, but I really want to become one so I get older. So keep that in your mind. So yeah, first reason to stop cutting is, how does cutting make your loved ones feel? I can imagine that if I told my mom that I was cutting, which I don't. I'm sorry if I imply that I do, because I don't. If you literally, I swear, I don't cut. I don't cut. No, I don't. Sorry. How does cutting make your loved ones feel? I can imagine that if I did cut and I told my mom, she'd be pretty devastated. Like, they could put that weight on them and then feel like you're not talking to them enough. And like, if this has been going on for a while, your parents aren't going to feel like they've been there enough for you, and that's going to kind of make them feel upset. So I don't think you want to really put that on the people that are responsible for your life. I mean, unless you hate your life, then I'm sorry about that for you. Number 2, you're wasting a perfectly healthy body, and I cannot stress this enough because this is one of the top 10 reasons I tell, like, if someone says that, oh, I want to commit suicide, oh, I cut myself, I'm like, you're wasting a perfectly healthy body. The kids in Africa are just dying over there. People are dying all over the world that wish they could be in your shoes. They would kill to be in your shoes just so they could have one day in a perfectly healthy body that no matter what happens, at least they were given food, water, shelter, all that stuff. So you're kind of wasting that. You're throwing that in their faces and being like, you know what, I have a body, it's disposable, just throw it away. That's not something that I think is kind of how you want to impact this world. Cutting doesn't stop problems, and it adds problems. This is probably reason number 2 as to why I think, I can't do this. I'll be right back. I'm sorry about that. That was just... Okay. I'm sorry. I just love my hat. Cutting doesn't stop. It just adds problems. It really does. Like, I will talk about it later in this video, but it really, you can't... The odds... It just... Oh boy, I'm gonna get riled up right here. You're cutting, it really doesn't, it's just gonna cover up your problems, If you say, oh, I'm gonna cut myself because my boyfriend broke up with me, that's just, he's not gonna get back with you, hon, I'm sorry. And, yeah, that's really it. So, number 4, this one is probably one of the biggest factors, because considering the fact that, a lot of people have this feeling, it's kind of sad, but it's something that I think if you don't know, you should probably be aware of, and it's that cutting yourself could kill you. Probably a lot of people know that, but cutting yourself can kill you. You can get bacteria, you can cut yourself too deep and you can just bleed out. I mean, and even over time cutting, if you cut yourself for 10 years straight and you just lose all that blood, you're probably going to die. You're probably going to die, I'm going to be honest with you. This is going really fast and I'm really happy. 5, how does it make yourself feel? I've gotten a paper cut one time, and it was went the length of my thumb, and it hurt like crap. I was bawling my eyes out. I don't think by adding a razor is going to make it feel any better. I kind of doubt it's going to make it feel better. I bet $1 million it's going to make it feel better. I mean, it's not going to make it feel better. You know what? You understand. So yeah, I don't imagine it would feel too great, but if it did, then thumbs up for you. People will treat you differently. You can't get in the Army if you cut yourself. If you don't know that and you want to get in the Army, I'm really sorry. But, I mean, you could cover it up with makeup, or, you could get I don't know if they have surgery for that, but I don't see why they wouldn't. But, it's just, that's something that most people should be aware of, because you can't get in the Army. They'll deem you mentally ill and just mentally unstable to be in the Army, and that's going to suck for you. And if you are at a job interview and your sleeve falls down, whoops, and they see your cuts, that's going to be quite embarrassing, and they probably won't hire you. Number 7. If you're being bullied, you're probably you really are just giving in to the bully. You're giving them what they want. They want to see you suffer. They want to see you cry. That's what you're giving them. You're giving them, I'm weak, I give up. None of that for me. That's really what you're giving them. And I feel like, since I've been bullied, but not too harshly, I feel like that's something I never want to give them. I just ignore it, and at the end of the day, just brush it off my shoulder, bro. I really hope you guys can see me in this camera. This is a same place I filmed, except since this camera isn't ain't adjustable with the angle, it's kind of just one of those things. you're never going to get better, I'm going to be honest. It just covers your problems. You know, you're not going to get better. Over time, it's going to become more of a thing that you get used to. You know, you feel like, oh, you know, this is, if you done it one time, it hurts. You did it the second time, you know, it feels better. The third time, it feels better. Fourth time, so on and so forth. That's just what it's going to be like. And sooner or later, it's going to become a daily thing. Slice, slice, slice. It's just going to become a daily thing. And that's not something you really want, is it? And number 9, this one I put in all caps except for like half of it because I can't do capitals with a pen, and I can't really write with a pen because, you know, pens just suck in general. You're forcing yourself to bleed. You're forcing yourself to bleed. You're taking a razor or knife or whatever, I'm not giving any ideas, and just slashing them. You're just slashing. I'm going to be honest though, I want to point this out, that if you do cut yourself anywhere, which I don't say you should, but if you are gonna, and this isn't going to help you, I kind of recommend you do it maybe, you know, somewhere where it's not going to be noticeable by people. I'm really sorry I'm kind of giving out this information like, oh, you know what, here's a tip about this, but I'm just saying that if you do, that's where you should. You know, because, you know, you've got major veins, like, right in your arm, so if you ever do, and this, you know, none of videos help you, and you still want to cut yourself, I recommend, like, somewhere, maybe on your legs. I don't know if that's a good area, but, you know, I just really want to, I'm sorry if I'm, like, recommending that you do cut yourself. I'm saying that if this doesn't help, then, you know, don't cut yourself on your wrist because you've got major veins there, and that's just, you know, somewhere where everyone can see it, so do not deem cut yourself, but if you do, legs. Number 10, this is the final one. It's easier to stop now than it is later. I can't stress this enough because I can't stress any of this enough. It's so hard to stop once you've started. If you've gone on for 10 days, it's going to be easier to stop on the first than it is on the last. You can't. There's no possible way that it's going to get any easier to stop. It's just going to get harder. So that's why I recommend that if you ever do start cutting, which I don't recommend, but like I said, legs, you should really get some help, maybe from a school guidance counselor, because we have a great one at our school, a therapist, some sort of person, an adult, or your parent, your friend even, could help you. I really just don't recommend cutting because you really are wasting a perfectly healthy body, and that's just not something. And besides, if you ever do end up killing yourself on accident by cutting, I don't think you want to leave this world with your last thing you ever did being slashing your wrist. I know this doesn't really sound as scientific as a video as I want it to be, but, you know. So I really am sorry for anyone that cuts. It's a really sad thing, and I just hope that anyone who watches this gets better. So if you ever need help, don't forget to comment in my comment section below, and, you know, I could do a video on it, and I don't know, I was just adjusting my camera. And next week, I'm probably going to do a 10 reasons you shouldn't commit suicide video as a follow-up to this because, like I said, I want to become a therapist, so this is perfect work. So, yeah. See you guys later. Goodbye.